a spirit told them, leave Tinashe out of this. She's under the blood.
I want to speak to the deacons.
Entity. So as soon as you call or challenge someone in how they've been a mom, it's very hard to not take that as a stab at your whole identity.
Hey, I've done most of it. Ask me. Or if I didn't do it, I was watching it being done. Right?
Yes, 50% can be even 99% divorce rate. That does not mean God's ideal was.
Not biased, but I
must
really
always
do
reassure
think
the
that really helps. And for some of us need medication. If it's really
The promise that every parent lives by is that we should train up our children in the way that they should go, and when they are grown, they will not depart from it. But unfortunately, the sad reality is that children have free will. As God would have it, children choose their way. So what do we do when our children navigate a path that is not similar or entirely the same as ours? Today, Tinashe Dube joins us as we go through this topic of what happens when children leave the church and what can we as parents do. So grab your Bibles and let's get weaving.
Tina. Balisa.
Welcome. So today's topic is a bit heavy, but I want us to start at the beginning. Tell us about you, how you were raised, your life growing up, little Tina. Yeah, take us through that.
Okay, so I don't know if you know, I'm Zimbabwean.
Yeah.
I was born in Zim, so I am a first-generation migrant to South Africa. Very educated parents, but my dad was raised in the rural areas, which is important because he's every day. He's like, Ekaya, Kumusha. That's how you say it. Everything is about Kumusha since the day I was born. Okay. Even though we've barely lived there. Okay. So I came here 1993.
Oh, okay.
So when I was 2 years old, first language was Afrikaans. Then I learned English. Then I learned my native language of Shona. But yeah, I must say I come from a very academic background. So my dad is a doctor. My sister is a medical doctor. I am an aspiring doctor. Yeah. And I could say very religious. Could I say religious? So my parents are both Seventh-day Adventists, but both first in their family, and I'm second generation Adventist. And what can I say? I think for most people it is important to know that my parents are not typical Adventists in that they go to STASM, the university churches that happened when I was 15 years old. And 20 years later, please tell me why.
That's actually how I met you and your parents.
Yes, yeah. So they're very much about that. There's a couple of things that they've done. My parents are very Adventist.
Yes.
Let's put it
Through
like
and
that.
through.
Yeah, through and through. Yeah. What can I say about myself? I'm an Adventist liberal.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. One of two daughters. Last born. Yeah.
So then what changed? So you were raised in this like heavily Adventist home. When did you start looking at it and thinking,
Can I be honest? Because this is the thing about parents. It was always going to be.
Oh, okay.
It was always going to be.
Why?
I think I've been blessed with a mom who's very open. And it's not to say that my dad is not open, but she's just, there's, the birds and the bees talk.
Oh, okay.
My mom had it with me one day on the way to school. And the more I think about it, I'm like, she probably realized she didn't have time, but it was the time, and she needed to catch me one-on-one. And, I realized she was very intentional about discussing certain things. So in talking, because my parents are academic, there's always been this room to ask questions.
Okay.
Ever since. And I've always been like, especially about things about the church, I've been, that's not going to work for me.
Oh, okay.
And almost like preempting. Since I was a kid, I remember one time I checked out some nail polish. My parents are very conservative. And I was looking at nail polish. I was maybe like 11. And my mom was like, oh, not my kid. I was like, oh, your kid.
Soon.
Yeah. I'm not joking. Okay. Yeah.
And what did she say? Did she react to it, or was it just?
I think she prayed. There's this certain face that she does where I'm sure she's like, Jehovah.
Take over, take the wheel.
Yes.
So it's always been just questions and so when did you decide to fully move from questions to maybe acting out certain things that your parents would probably not approve of?
I think by worldly standards, I'm very much a late bloomer because through and through, I was Adventist to the book. And I think that a lot of it had to do with STASM, right? Because when you're in STASM, you're not in church because you need to go to church. Everyone is there because they want to be, and we're doing what we want. And yeah. So I think when I was about 24, when I was doing my master's at UP, now the questions were like really pounding. There's things I want to say, but
You can say them.
there were certain realities, and it started with there was a boy that I really, really, really liked, and I didn't really like boys until I was like 24, and he was not Adventist, and I didn't ever like a boy in the church. Sorry to all my crushes. That was just the reality. So I'm 24. I finally like a boy. He's not Adventist. It's not a big deal to me. Start asking him questions. Well, he starts asking me questions, and it being the scenario that it was, there was a lot of sexual pressure.
Okay.
So it being like STASM, right? I need to at STASM, we do the programs we want to do.
Yes.
So I remember, in contemplating this whole decision, I went to the HIV center on campus, and very fortunate that it was just like right there. It was actually opposite where we used to go to church. So I was like, let me go in. So I don't know if you've ever gone for an HIV test before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but in this case, they make sure to counsel you before, because it's life and death, right? So she says to me, who are you going to... And this is before I've made the decision to indulge. And I'm doing my research because academic background, right? She's like, if this test comes out positive, who are you going to tell? And I was like, well, I'll be dying with this secret.
Yeah.
Like, they'll find out on my deathbed if by some chance... Because also remember Kitom. If by some chance I'm positive, how would I be positive?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? But I remember being like, okay, heavy. Because I knew I could tell my mom anything. My sister's very strict, so I won't tell her. Sorry, Taffy. So, but I was like, I don't want to do that to my mom because of that praying face that she keeps having. So I was like, okay, to the grave we go. I was like, guess it's going to be a long life. Then they pricked me.
Yeah.
Obviously, the test came out negative because
You hadn't done nothing before.
Yeah. But also that innocence of not even realizing A plus B, this is how you get HIV. Even though you've been educated, you're so dumb. Well, in my case, I was so dumb. Anyway, so fast forward, I date that guy anyway, and he starts being like, oh, this is planet Earth, girl. So you think everyone around you is like you. They're not. And I was like, I don't want to mention his name. That he wouldn't mind.
Call him Mike.
This year. Oh, no, Mike. Like, what do you mean? Mike was smoking hot, by the way. I just need to... What do you mean? As you look into his gorgeous eyes. And like, I'm just telling you, I'm not telling you to be like horrible. Like, the world is not like what you think it is. Now, obviously, I'd had my slight suspicions, but I was like, it doesn't at the very least. So I had gone to WITS before I went to UP. I did my undergrad at WITS. And I stayed in a girls' race, and we got an average of 2 pregnancies a year or more, right? And remember I said I started at STASM when I was 15. So by the time I'm 21, I've been there for many years. I've never seen a pregnancy.
Yes.
Now I'm meeting Mike, and Mike is saying this to me.
Yeah.
So STASM being STASM, and with the room to explore, I decided to run a program. Mostly about the questions I had. And being a researcher, it was mostly just like, it was in the chapel. So I put all these posters up with questions, and people just had to put a sticker for yes or no. I'll never forget on the question that said, are you sexually active? 100% yes. Everyone who answered that question, everyone who was from STASM. And you must know this was like a crusade. So it was like a Friday.
Yeah.
These are people who, instead of doing whatever they do on a Friday night, they came to church. So these are our people.
Yes, these are the people that are doing the most.
The most. Yeah. Church-wise.
Yeah.
So I look at this thing, because I had to take it down to present it the next day. I was shocked.
I'm shocked.
Because Mike was right. And so... And look, granted, the sample wasn't that large, but from the few people that answered, it was under 10 people that answered. Njani, Like until today. So I remember taking it forward to the elders, of which my parents were part of. I was like, yeah, these are the statistics.
And stats don't lie.
Yes. And I was like, and a vele. When I was with Wits, every year 2 girls would fall pregnant. Because like Mike said, this is planet Earth, you know. And I think for the first time, my mom didn't have answers for me. Yeah. So I said, I'm just gonna go figure this out. And it wasn't because I was like, I'm leaving the church. I was like, I now give myself the room to go figure this out. So I started hanging out more with Mike and his friends. Him not being Adventist, you know, sometimes we have to do other things on Saturday. I just gave myself the room to be like, I think you need answers. Nobody here, you asked everyone, nobody here wants to talk about it. And there's lots of things, you know. I mean, if I can be blank, it was like people are smoking weed. I'm an architect, and in the design space, a lot of people, your own lecturers, are smoking weed for the creative process. And so I was like, I need answers, and I'm just going to go talk to people
Who have
and
seemingly have answers.
yeah, or at least are willing to talk to me, and that's going to involve whatever it's going to involve. But so what happened is that I I chose to formally step down from church positions at the time. And oddly enough, my parents didn't ask me why. Until today, I'm like, because that would have just been my chance to be like, well, see what I was thinking was, and I didn't get my answers. But anyway, they didn't ask me why, which was very strange because. Yeah, and until today, they didn't ask me why. And even at this DASM that I was at the time, nobody asked me why.
Did your sister ask?
No.
one. Okay.
I think because my sister was going through another thing, which I'll talk about later. Yeah. But also, I guess the world doesn't revolve around you in your
Fair. You're not the main character.
You're only the main character in your own story. Yeah, so I formally stepped down, and because I was like, I take that thing of, you know, the sons of Eli who defiled
the sanctuary
because they were, you know, doing both, you know. I was like, I'm not going to be that person. Lord, this is like officially, I'm not leaving you. So you can come with me. But now I'm not doing both, you know. And so I sort of just left. So I would still come to church and all of that. But I was like, officially, you know, on the thing, when they're like, are you in good and regular standing? I'd be like, no.
You are
I'm
sort
not.
of.
Yes. I'm not in good. So that was kind of how it happened.
Okay. In the time, how's your relationship with your parents as they see the changes? And I'm sure there were visible changes. Were there visible changes?
I mean, they must have been, but I think it also coincided with like coming of age. Because I was like 24, 25, just finishing my master's, starting to get my own money. But I think I was just very recluse at the time. Because I just felt like, I tried to talk to you guys, you didn't get it. But also just because of life changes, you know, you're really stressed because of school and stuff like that. So I don't think they really noticed. Yeah. But also because I had said so much in my youth, where I was like, that's how it'll fly with me, you know. So when things did come up, it's not like we had fights about church per se, but when things did come up, I'll be like, but really, not in an attitude way. It's like I did when I was 10. I had
pre-warned
this suspicion.
you.
Yeah, and now we've arrived. So it wasn't tense at home, but it was a bit awkward because you're living in these people's home. So I had moved out to raise, and I moved back home briefly. You're living in these people's home, and they, you know how it is in an SDA household. So people are getting ready for Sabbath. It's Sabbath opening. You're like, really, Mom? You're coming back from work? You're busy cooking like this? It's not a thing for me. You know, it's not a thing. Oh, okay, we can do prayers, you know, but it just became awkward because it's like almost like borderline rude because these people are taking care of you and you're just like, oh, that's not a thing. That's not a thing for me. So ultimately, I decided to move out of home. But there were a lot of other factors involved with that. Like I got enough money. So it wasn't conflict, but just like a bit awkward.
So the conversation was never really opened up, even with your sibling. There was never really, because you did say Taff is more strict
Oh,
There was never a
until
real
today.
there was never a real opening up of the can of worms, so to say.
Yeah.
It was just we know but we don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Also because, Adventism is a very like social thing. So you're still hanging out with those people. But just when it comes to certain things, you'll be like,
Sorry.
yeah, I'll be that
I will
side.
not be
I will not be.
participating.
Yes. I'll be at home or I'll be elsewhere. But I'll be home by 8 or I'll see you guys wherever.
I want to go back to something that you were saying about your sister, that she was going through her own thing. What was happening in her own thing, if you're at liberty to share before you are blocked for life?
If I'm blocked for life. I meant to actually call my brother-in-law to ask him this question, but I mean, it's not like a secret. So when my sister met my now brother-in-law, they've now been married for 10 years, so they've been together a very long time. He was not Adventist. Weirdly enough, there was a lot of tension about that at home. Just dating. I mean, I was like, it's just dating. Yeah.
It's not that serious.
It's actually not that serious, And and maybe my parents saw from the way that they reacted with my sister that whole thing, like, don't do that to your kids, guys. Don't do that to your kids. And I think I made it very clear, like, oh, if you're gonna retaliate to me like this, I will also retaliate. So I think maybe they were also like, don't do that with Tina. So with my sister, so she got married, well, relatively young. She got married 10 years ago. So her husband, at the time that she met him, was not Adventist. And the way he became Adventist was, because I like to call things as they are. It was not fake. It was not relationship evangelism. It was a sequence of events.
Okay.
And I feel it's his sort of story to tell. But
Yes.
it was a sequence of events that naturally led him to make the decision, kind of where like he just called her to be like, it has culminated in my baptism into the Adventist church. And Palisa, a lot of these things, we don't talk about like spirituality, but a lot of these things are bigger than us. We really are sitting in like a great controversy. And I'm not saying, my brother-in-law, my Bamkuru is the one. He's the one who became an Adventist. We are really sitting in a sequence of events that is much, much bigger than us. And so for him, he became Adventist, and there were a lot of things that they needed to navigate, and she needed to navigate in getting married and stuff like that. So that's why I think she's
going through her own things.
Yeah.
So I want to take us back to the whole poster situation, right?
Okay.
I think currently within the church, there is a bit of a moving away of the youth from the standards, so to say, that they were raised in. Could you hazard a guess as to why? Or did you ever actually, in your experience, ever encounter why some people are kind of drifting?
Now I can say this. I think I have to bring in maybe the whole thing of being Zimbabwean. Because being a Zimbabwean, it's a very conservative culture, or at least on the surface, it's a very conservative culture. So it's a bit hard for me to explain, because will always be on the conservative side, even if I'm liberal or whatever. But I think it's a thing of, if I can like be totally frank, it's like what you're doing in church is that doesn't tie up with who you actually are. So for example, with the dress code, which we mentioned for today, in the state that I'm in, I was like, I wear black every day, black skinny jeans and black something every single day, and even in coming back to church, I'm like, it's such a hassle to go to church in the morning. People are always like, why are you so late? Well, first of all, I'm always late.
Yes.
But second to that, Tinashe doesn't wear skirts in the world. And oddly enough, I went through a phase in my life where for like 5 years, I didn't wear pants at all. This was when I was at Stasm. And then just realized, man, you don't even look nice.
Coco, hi.
I hope you're enjoying the episode so far and enjoying the discussion. We just wanted to take this moment to thank everyone that has sponsored us throughout the entire season, everyone that has sponsored an episode. And we just wanted to say, if you really believe in what we're doing, if you enjoy what we're doing, and if you want to partner with us in spreading hope to families and helping other families weave the basket breeds for their children, please hit us up. All of the information that you need will be in the description box. And you can, sponsor a little, a lot, depending on your pocket. But thank you and God bless.
Girl, you don't even look nice. And I'm also an architect. We have to be climbing on things. I was like, just take the skinny jean and you're overthinking this and, proceed. And so I'm just talking about like the standard of dressing.
Yes.
So when I wake up in the morning and I want to go to church, yes,
You kind of have to think. Yeah.
I actually really have to think. And so I'm now putting this into the extent of so many other things of life. You probably don't embody those things on a day to day. And so when it's showing up in church, someone will have tried to probably dial down that part of them or suppress that part of them. But there it is. Gadi rings, And people are like, these are not even my dress rings, these are just, these are just
circles.
Yeah. Yeah, it is my nose ring. I need to keep the hole open. Don't you guys know these things close, that kind of thing. And so the reality, I always laugh. My mom, she's such a nice lady.
Mom is very nice.
Such a nice lady. And, I always tell her things are so different because these things, they come naturally to you. I've never seen my mom wearing trousers except for like when she's jogging. And all of these things, she'll be like, even like with my braids. But
Why?
why?
the need?
Yeah. Explain to me. There's a time I used to have like green and blue braids, orange and pink. Why? And, from a very genuine... And, I get to understand because so many people in my family are like that. The reality is that they are like that through and through. And then when you're seeing other people, it doesn't compute. Yeah, it doesn't compute. And so I think when we see that, when you see people deviating, you're seeing the reality of what it is.
heart.
Yeah, that it's not an act. Yeah.
How would you actually be able to, if somebody was looking at you, let's say a month before you decided, let me go full force, how could one who's on the outside think, man, that's a sign, what could you start to see in the entire thing that would tell you somebody's probably drifting at this point?
I think that I think these things are never sudden, if I can say. There were also a couple of things that also coincided, and it was a lot to do with hypocrisy. There was a lot of sexual scandals with people that we call fathers. And also I went forward to my parents with that. Now, these were not their questions to answer. But I couldn't go to those dads.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Why? And I don't think there would have been anything visible. But I just think there were signs. But I would say I'm more of a verbal person. So just like you just say it at the dinner table, we have the conversation, and then the third time we have the conversation, it's like I'm not interested, because if that's gonna be happening,
Then it means,
what are we doing? Yeah. Dad, what are we doing?
yeah.
My dad was just like,
We're trying.
yeah. But I think with a lot of people who have ultimately left the church, it's more people that are closer to them. You'll see, no man, this one, something is amiss. They're not feeling it. And there's different ways of being like, this one is just like floating, and yeah. So I don't think it's super obvious. Yeah.
Now, what I appreciate, I like your parents. How does a relationship with the parents actually affect this decision? Did you ever think at some point, snap, my poor parents, how can a relationship can it augment the trajectory? How does that relationship inform the entire journey, basically?
Yeah. The weird thing is I actually feel more sorry for my parents now than then. But also I feel like my frontal lobe came in late.
Oh,
I feel like my frontal lobe came in at 30. So I can only think of like the last 3 years and my poor parents. I also didn't mention that part of the reason I decided to like leave is because I didn't fit the mold. Okay, so people are talking about family life, it doesn't people relationship. As I told you, I was not interested.
Yes.
I was like, even if I have a relationship, I don't know, it doesn't fit this whole thing. I don't know what I thought I was going to do, but I can tell you now at 33, I'm still not married. And I only started really thinking about marriage maybe 3 years ago and having kids maybe 2 years ago. And so even part of leaving was like, there's no place. So go, because everyone is getting married. And
There's a cutout for everyone except you.
Except you.
Yeah.
So now and so I do feel more sorry for them now than then, because it's like, it's more like, what do you do with this one? I don't know how to explain it. Do you know what I mean? It's like they've got this adult child who doesn't have all of those adult markings. And I'm sure within the context of Adventism, even now, I mean, yesterday, my mom was doing a certain program and she's like, are you coming? I was like, I'll keep the Sabbath, but
I won't be there.
yeah. And for the same reasons I've explained to her, I was like, at the particular church that you go to, someone of my age, and because you guys are like elders, people go to you for questions now by virtue of being an elder's daughter. I don't have answers because I'm not experiencing that part of life. And,
What do you think the church could have done? Like the fellow Stazamites, when you resigned, was there anything that they could have done, even leading up before that? Is there a role that the church could have played to kind of delay or stop. Or
Lock
the doors.
I'm a big advocate of we need to talk. We need to talk. Recently, you and I did that program together.
Yes.
You noticed that, and it's no shade to the whole thing. It's like the show must always go on. Ne? And I don't think people are literally sitting there being like, the show must always go on. But with running Sabbath in, Sabbath out, I do feel at Stasm you got an opportunity to do it more organically because you're passionate and whatever. But for people that are sitting in church, Sabbath in, Sabbath out, at 11:15 is do me. And trust me, I left the church for 10 years. When I come back, please tell me why at 11:15 was still. I was like, well, I was right on that front, So there's a bit of like an inorganicness to what's happening, and I feel like we don't talk in church, ne? So something will have happened. Why are we talking about Nehemiah building the walls when there is a crisis in this church? And I know that it's not always easy to talk about certain things, but I do remember having a conversation with another friend of mine who is also went through the same thing. She's like my world is like falling apart, and why are we just running on schedule, on time? And the weird thing is, with all the life stuff that I went through and that a lot of people have gone through, there's not. So you'll go through these things and you'll be like, I'm in crisis. And then maybe somebody will eventually come and ask you. And they'll be like, in 94, I went through that.
But I'm done.
Yeah. And these things are not new under the sun. Look at Auntie Mang Mang. These things happen. Then you'll be like, so, but why do I have to go through it to be the first? Like, I have to be on the wrong, suffering. I do believe Santon Metro did try to have these like real conversations, but again, those are always like targeted at like marriages and stuff like that. So I think we need to talk. We need to talk. I remember there was a time I traveled. I used to be so zealous, man. I was in African Exodus, the mission group, for years.
That's how we met.
Yes, yeah. And I think, I also wanted to say, like, with the whole dozen thing, it was such a real experience with God. Hey?
Yeah.
God, we need to go to the park. Do you want us to go to the park? I bring it before the board. The board says, let's go to the park. Okay, God, we need 2,000 bucks. Fast, I get 2,000 rand. Okay, and I know we're just talking about 2,000 rand. Okay, then African Exodus was born because a Tanzanian student and a Malawian student and a Zimbabwean student were sitting next to each other, and they said, "Oh, these white kids, they always come to our countries and they do all of these things. Why don't
We do it.
Yeah. And they said, "Yeah, let's." I remember that was 2005, my first year at STASM. And we went, and at the time we needed 70,000 rand. So everything else was done. We needed 70,000 rand for the bus. And we fasted and we got it. And when we went to our first stop on African Exodus, it was Mafikeng on our way to Bots. So we excited, we wearing overalls. So you get on the bus, you put all our stuff underneath the bus. It was one of those big buses. And we're wearing overalls and we get to a church. And I don't know, like until today, it's not A plus B, right? We were wearing overalls and we had paint in the bus. And we got out of the bus and we offloaded the paint. And the church members were there. And they said, "Where are you from?" And we were like, what do you mean, where are you from? So I'm like asking the leaders, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, this is the church we know in Mafikeng on the way to Botswana." Then the church people were like, so it was a bit like rural. Maybe it's not Mafikeng, my geography. It doesn't make it
Somewhere along the way.
On the way to, yes. So they were like, yes, one of our children went to university and sent the money and we built this church. And that person passed away. And we've been praying, God, we need to plaster and paint this church. And we happened to be fasting about that yesterday. So what are you guys doing here? And we're like,
the scent of the Lord.
yes. And, it sounds funny. Until today, nobody... I've asked everyone, Bofu, Lu, Carol, they know themselves. Guys, what were we doing there? Nobody can put the A plus the B. That was the God.
The authenticity of it.
The
real experience.
Yeah. I don't even remember the question you asked me. But but my point is that it was also not experiencing God at that level that was really getting to me, like post-dasm. Where is the God of Mafikeng and painting?
Where's the God of I fasted now?
Sorry, I don't remember.
No. So the question was, what could the church do?
What could the...
Yeah. But we'll come back to that question. So it's not like your experience. Sometimes when we look at somebody going through a crisis of faith, you're thinking, this person never knew the Lord. No, it was just surface knowledge. It was a real experience. It's not like it was even a surface experience. You've seen stuff. You've been involved in the work. It's not that you were just a nominal church member before. You were really, really, really involved. But this still came up, right? In the time, you said it was 11 years. Was it 11 years? Did you say 11 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that 11 years, were there times where you'd be praying, or were there times where you heard the Spirit speak to you and say, put a comma there, stop there? Or did it only come later on, basically?
So many times. I'm not even going to lie. And I mean, to be perfectly honest, at some point I was like, no, man, I'm a Buddhist. So don't even think this was a cute.
Yes. It wasn't a livnyana.
Yeah. No, I'm Buddhist. I'm both. What's that?
Seventh-day Adventist Buddhist.
Yeah. Because being raised Adventist, you'll always have those affiliations. It wasn't cute, Nana. It was, let's explore, let's what. There were so many things that happened. It was, someone's like, landed. I remember, I really went through a period of traveling a lot. Thanks God. It was amazing. I've really been to many places. Every time I'd sit down on a plane, somehow I would land up with a Christian. Now, I don't know if you know, when you're like going on a long trip, it's like ring, ding, 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 ding. It's very hectic up until that moment you get on a plane. So I'll be like, today you're not talking on the plane. You are tired. Go to sleep. Somehow I'd always sit on the plane and somebody would turn to me and we'd have a conversation and Christ is always coming up. The person's like, don't leave Christ. I'm not telling them anything.
Yeah.
I'm just
Don't leave the
seated.
Lord.
Hi, how you doing? No, Christ. I can't, because I can't even, it happened so many times that I can't even tell you the occurrences of it. Yeah. And I remember the coolest one was I met this guy. We were going from Colombia to Cuba. We were going from New York to Cuba. From New York to Colombia. I was on the way to Cuba.
C is a C.
Yeah. And you know, in New York, those people are like really cool. He was like a trombonist or something at like some Ivy League music thing. Like, if you looked at him, I can't remember that guy's name. He's on my Instagram. If you see on my Instagram, I have a picture where I'm next to him. I can't remember his name. He, most unexpected. I mean, this is a South American New Yorker. Tell me why. Christ.
Telling you about the Lord Jesus.
And then also, when I say these things are bigger than us, so you also grew up looking at your, let's call them older siblings. So, but it's not exactly siblings. It's people we lived with in the house periodically, and they left. And also tell me why. Umuntu put a glass of wine. We'd be like, don't leave the Lord.
Oh. Are we not doing this together?
Yeah. Don't leave the Lord. Mary Adventist. These were my older sisters. I'm like, I just came here for a good time. I don't want to be country. I'm like, I just came here for a good time. Like, why? We're just on the beach. We just came from the beach.
Why are we getting serious?
Yes. Don't leave the Lord, Tina. Let me tell you, don't do this, don't do that. And so even in those probings, very interesting story. So there was that kind of thing where every time somebody's like dragging you back. I dated another non-Adventist. I've never dated an Adventist. There, I said it. And we used to do everything together. And but for some reason, on Saturdays we just need to rest. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. I'm even busy now with my doctorate. I tried, because even to, and it's been a long journey. So even in that, there were times I would try to work on Sabbath. It just couldn't. It literally could not happen. You open the laptop, it's just not happening. You're there, and then somehow it's sunset. Now you're flowing. Now you're. So he later says to me, he's not Adventist. He started his own businesses. I had a conversation with him a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, yeah, I don't work on Saturdays. And I was like, I know why you don't work on
Let me
Saturdays.
tell you why.
Let me tell you why. Yes, it's because of me. It's because of me, because of whatever I was going through, I couldn't. So there were just like things like, when's that? And since this is a parenting podcast, I don't know, maybe it's psychology. Train up a child in the way they should go. You cannot leave.
Even if you want.
It's very much like you cannot leave. When I went through very serious mental health challenges, and this is how I also got back into church. Why am I going to, I won't mention the church, very conservative church. Why is my spirit at peace
At the very, very, very conservative church.
Well, even my parents were like, why are you going there? Why don't you come to our church? I'll be like, I need that old time religion. Yeah.
Going back to the question about what could the church have done, was there anything that the members of STASM
Could have done. Not so much members of STASM, but I see it more in the mainstream church because I'm not in STASM anymore. I think people need to talk. You can see what's going on. I remember when we got our first boyfriends, we were pulled aside in these side meetings. Don't do those things, and it was so shameful. Probably why I didn't date.
Adventist.
Yeah, I was like, okay, if you're going to do it, well, first of all, don't do it because they told us don't do it. So don't do it. But if you're going to do it, it's so complicated with these guys, Where and it was a very hush-hush conversation and such a taboo thing. Now, if as an aunt, because I don't have any kids, when I see my nephews doing things like that, I talk to them, but I don't try to make it, come to the room, let's talk. No, man, we talk about it in the kitchen while we're cooking and we're what. And if the church could also, let's talk about this. You're going through, I don't know, what are kids going through now? What are Roblox?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever the thing is.
Yeah, but you can see this child. You can see this one. You just walk in and see this one is dressing like a Japanese anime character to church. Ne? But you can see with your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand as parents you don't know everything, but if there's platforms to talk,
Try to use it.
talk.
Yeah.
Not every time just sticking to the program. No, talk. I think that's the thing I can say, because there's 3 programs a day, 3 slots a day. Okay,
Let's pause, listen, study to have a conversation.
Yeah. Even something like, something I think about a lot, like when I was growing up, I was a tomboy. I didn't know what a tomboy was. And it was because my dad didn't want us to wear trousers. But if we did, they needed to be loose.
fitting.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, I guess the mannerisms came off. You're a tomboy. Get to high school. You and I went to the same high school.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had this thing.
Yeah.
Did it, when I got to high school, everyone was like, oh, yeah, lesbian.
Oh, no, for me, it
Nobody-
wasn't a lesbian. I was just a tomboy.
Just a
Yeah,
tomboy.
I was just...
Oh, for
Yeah.
me, it was like people were like,
Although people did flag me as a lesbian for a bit. I think they were waiting for me to come out of the closet.
yes. They're still waiting for me today. So maybe it's a girls' school
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. But at the time, I was just like, okay, maybe I was asexual. I was just like, okay, whatever. I just left it. Ne? So like now, let's say, when I'm saying talk, ne? So in this time of like LGBTQ, I imagine if it's anything like how when I was growing up, these things will be said on the radio in Bazo, Tsima.
Uh-huh.
So you'll talk about it with your friends, but your parents or people will never address it.
Yeah.
Now, Mina, I want to tell my story in the children's story.
Yes.
That if I had been growing up in these times, I
I
would have been told.
Definitely, yeah.
I would have been told, no, you're probably a they.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not lesbian,
Yes.
but you're a they.
You're on the flag.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, when I say talk, I always have this story that I'm going to take the children's story and tell this thing. And I know they're going to put on the music before I finish trying to say what I'm trying to say. So kids, because I feel like these things start when you're a kid. It doesn't come in adulthood. You're having all these questions, but somehow it feels like the world is spinning around and you're the only one standing looking at this issue.
Saying, oh, but
But
really,
yeah. And every time you want to be like, I'm sorry guys, I'm not able to turn with the world. I'm still fixated on this thing, Sabbath in, Sabbath out. I'm still thinking about this. But when you hear somebody else in church talk about it, which is why I really like the sermon you talked about the other day. Because for me, so many times when somebody names the thing that you're going through, it's like your feet are planted back on earth. Oh, we are together.
Yes.
Oh,
Someone else is seeing the
this.
thing. Yeah.
Yes. And then, then the world can continue turning. So I just feel like the Adventists, it just feels like, okay, camp meeting, and then now Ted Wilson and it's communion again. And
Things continue without ever pausing to think about the actual reality of
yeah.
life.
Or just being like, let's stop, because in this church, I don't know, such
Something,
and such has
we're
happened.
doing something wrong.
There was demon position at camp.
Yes,
The kids
so
have
much.
questions.
So much.
You
And
know?
yeah, you're right. Actually, no one in all of those positions actually spoke to any of us.
Right.
The kids kind of just disappeared, and then tomorrow's morning manna. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you get home, you're traumatized.
You're so traumatized.
And they're like, do you want to do Sabbath school? I want to do it on...
the report back from camp, and nobody really mentions the fact that there were people levitating off the bed.
Yeah.
So tell us a story about you coming back.
Coming back. Okay, so it started with, let's call it social Adventism. Went through serious mental health challenges, very serious. And it started with, I need peace. So my parents live in Pretoria and I was living in Joburg just here. So I started going to that conservative church. I need, Shona's like Kugarika. I need peace. started going back for social Adventism. And just was like, yeah, like this is where I should be. But also started going through. It's a bit difficult to talk about because the Adventist church doesn't give me the vocabulary to talk about it. But spiritual realities, things that people don't talk about a lot is like, so you're sitting in something and you realize I'm actually sitting in the middle of spiritual warfare. I am. There's no other way to name what it is. And without going into too much detail, being told by the other side, being like, this one, so she's different. And this thing that we're trying to do, it doesn't work with her. And never being told directly, but always getting these reports from people that are in a different, and it's not like a witch doctor.
Yes.
This is somebody who's doing something else spiritually, and they're told that one,
that girl that you came here with.
Yeah, she's under the blood, so we're just going to, if she wants to come, it's not going to be easy because she is under a different spiritual covenant. And this is a thing that keeps being relayed again and again and again and again. So there was that, and also realizing, so now I want to have kids, right? Realizing, so let's talk about maybe from spiritual warfare and like character. Defo Manyana, the pastor, preached a sermon the other day. He said the devil is not your age mate, nor is he your mother's age mate.
Shapaga experience.
Yeah. What he did to your grandmother, did to your mother, and now he's here for you. So there were things happening, and I had to ask my parents, why are you Adventist? Like, your family is so chilled, so cool. Why also, and also preparing for this this podcast. So I'd asked my dad maybe that question 2 months before you guys asked me to be on the podcast, because this is a thing that's happening in real time. This is not a story where we talk about the past.
Yeah.
This is a thing that's happening in real time. 2 months ago, because I had another one of these things where a spirit told them, leave Tinashe out of this. She's under the blood.
You can't touch her.
Can't touch her. It's not working.
According to the rules of engagement of the great controversy. Yeah.
She is on the other side.
Yeah.
I said, me. The weakest.
You guys know me?
Yeah, me. They're like, yeah. And you find yourself in situations where people are contesting you, and you're like, "What is the problem?" And they're like, "You're Adventist." I'm not even.
Not really.
Yes. I'm like, no. You do this hour, and it's because the fruit. You will know things by their fruit. So let's talk about coming back to Adventism, and not because abantu bayaloya and no. There's a thing called Pascal's wager. Do you know Pascal's wager? Was he a theologian?
He was actually a mathematician.
He was a mathematician. Happened to be Christian? Or?
Happened to be Christian.
Yeah. So let's put it on the side of this. I've done most of it. Ask me. Or if I didn't do it, I was watching it being done. Trust me, right? When you do these things, when you're in this thing, you must understand that the spiritual covenant that the devil has is not for free. He's not your age mate. It's not for free. So now you come to the Adventist church, and I'm not saying everything's perfect. And I'm going to say something that's it's like almost contradictory. But like it's almost contradictory. So this thing that I'm saying, it's so systematic, right? If you want to speak, so Adventist kids are generally good public speakers. There's all sorts of things you're going to pick up just by being in the church by virtue of being there. Osmosis. By that system running week in, week out, there are things that you are going to pick up, and those things are going to be to your benefit, and they are not going to take from you. They are here to make you a winner in the spiritual world and a winner in real, tangible life. But the way the devil does things, he will elevate you to drop you. And this is on, trust me, I've tried a lot of religions. It's not, it's a system of give and take, but God is the only one who gives and gives. So that was, I looked at the whole thing, I'm going to talk about, should I mention his name? There's two people. So it's and everyone knows. We had a long conversation. So in coming back to church, I also go to Santon Church quite a bit. And I got my parents to go to Santon. I'm like, yeah, because now I'll go to church, so you must come
Support
with me.
me.
Yes, you must come with me. So on the Sabbath we went. There were like literally 1,100 people at church. So I'm an architect, right? So I grew up in Joburg. So I knew Santon Church when we were in that.
The original one.
Yes. And I was talking to a cousin of mine who visited that day. I said, you see, a lot of these things are bigger than us because when Santon bought this whole piece of land, let me tell you, for years, it looked crazy.
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah.
And when they built this huge structure, it was like, for who? And I said, look at us today. And I think that structure started being filled up, being used just before COVID. And COVID confirmed, there was no reason.
Yeah, it was wasted
yes, money. Right? I said, look at us today. There are no seats. So I've known Franklin. Frank, you'll forgive me. There's a time we had a very long conversation in the beginning of this year. I've known him most of my life. He's one of those cousins that are not blood cousins. So I was like, it's really phenomenal what you do. You're the music leader. How do you do it? Because there's also that element of, you get burnt out in church leadership. And I was like, yeah, I got burnt out. I needed to deal with my life. Nah. I was like, do you fast? And do you fast weekly? Must I fast with you? Like, what is it? And he told me systematically how he does what he does with running the thing. And he was like, and when you present yourself with excellence and, you bring yourself, but you bring all of yourself, commit. God will meet you there. And now we're sitting at 1,100 people physically and however many, It was, he gave me it was a very humbling, the way he did it, he wasn't like, I didn't do it because I wanted 1,100 people. I've always been singing. I've hold myself to a standard, and he was talking about his father and stuff like that. And I have another cousin who's good friends with him, which is how I end up being close to him. She told me, she keeps, I call her in the middle of the night. Hi, Mbuya, you know yourself. I won't mention her name because she stays in America, so I can call her in the middle of the night because she's awake. I call her in the middle of the night with my problems. And she, interestingly enough, probably, I think we've never had the discussion. I think she went through the same thing as me. And then like is at VBS with her kids this summer. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. And she was also one of those, when I would be traveling, she'd be like, stay with God. Right? And you because of the realness of the, how she lives her life and lets me see everything, it's like, I could believe her. And she said a line to me last year. She said, the beginning of things is so important. And you don't understand it, because I think now she's about to turn 40. She's like, you don't understand it now, but you will understand it, later. And so let's just put it on Pascal's wager. If you don't know what to do, go to church. And the thing about, I still get very embarrassed. I took a visitor to church the other day. Hey, a Christian visitor. And they, hey, so many, thank God I'm Adventist. Adventists who are going to heaven. In the prayer, Lord, I thank you that I'm Adventist.
I'm not like other men.
Yes. And I was like, the thing is, do I advocate for Adventism? Yes. But I do believe that we're all God's children. And some of us don't know it yet, right? And yes, if you look at everything, people will be like, what about Ellen White? Can say all you want about Ellen White. I can also get in those debates, but read the stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
You're also going to understand, like, this is not... Are you going to debate it? Read it. Read it, and then we can speak. Yeah. I think sometimes you need to have a one-on-one engagement with these things. But the thing is, let's forget about, so there's Tina, but if Tina has kids, when my kid discovers miniskirt, I rather my kid discovers miniskirt and tries to do that thing in her Pathfinder uniform. There's a lot of things she's going to learn because she wants to wear her miniskirt at Pathfinders. In the world, it just ends with her dancing there in front of the TV screen and twerking. It's going nowhere. You know what I mean? But really, in the Adventist church, it's for you. It's for your earthly betterment, you know. So, yeah.
I want us to pray. I don't want to end the conversation, but time. Okay. But I do want us to pray, right? For the parents who are on the side where they're still watching the movie happen and they don't know how to navigate it. For those that are navigating their journey. And I believe God doesn't waste experiences. I mean, although it's not his will that we, turn aside, but I don't think he ever wastes experiences. So I want us to pray for those that are making their way back, God willing. The parents that are parenting, watching their kids leave. And the parents that are also parenting the little ones before we know, hopefully they don't leave. But that God would help us. You know what I appreciate about even your entire story is there's no point where you said, and then my mother said, never come back to this house again. That love that kind of doesn't stop, that is akin to the love of God. Because, I'm thinking about the verse in Hosea 14 that God will heal their backsliding and love them freely. So I want us to pray for that. This prayer request is very complicated, but you hear me. That the Lord would help us as we navigate the way of parenting, of growing, of becoming, of ultimately standing, learning to walk, and then parenting those who we hope will stand, and pray that they'll stand. Can you pray for us? Please, as I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Let's pray. Our most kind and loving Father art in heaven, thanks for this day. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to have both lived my story and gotten a chance to tell it, dear Lord. Today on this parenting podcast, I pray for all the parents that are watching, dear Lord. And it's going to be a variety of people, those that are in the fold and those that are out of the fold, dear Lord. We live in an understanding of you where we think that things maybe are only supposed to go a certain way for a certain outcome, but this is earth, God, and you know what it takes for an outcome. Only you can say, let there be light, and there'll be light. I pray that you give parents, future parents that are waiting for their kids to come back and kids that are not coming back, what you gave me. I want you to stretch out your healing hand, dear Lord, and your helping hand, and to provide the right people at the right time. From childhood, shaping the parents into who they need to be, so that one day their kids will be able to talk to them as I was able to talk to my parents, dear Lord. But also giving support structures of the right type of uncles and aunts that ended up being parents that did the guiding when there was only so much my actual parents could do, dear Lord. So I pray for community. I pray for friends, all that walk within your light, and that this light may not extend only around a singular ring of people, but it may extend to social circles beyond just those that are within our own community, dear Lord. You made us to live in love and bear the fruit of that, and I pray that may be the result of people choosing you, not just, number counts and baptisms, but that it may actually be something that, all men may become your disciples, not because you need disciples, dear Lord, but because there's a lot that you offer, and it's all in love. This is my humble prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Tina, thank you. I appreciate you. And I appreciate all of you for watching. I actually want to plug a sermon by David Asher called Pascal's Wages, just because we've referred to Pascal's Wages so much. He actually has a whole sermon on it. So watch. But thank you once again for watching, and may God bless you. And I pray that this was a blessing. God bless.